Wow, look at all the people coming in our room. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Jamie, Trish, Angela, Mona. Haven't seen Mona in a while. Hi, Mona. Guadalupe, Mary, Karen, Melissa, Deborah, and Larry.
How's it going, everyone? I know a lot of you are watching Big Brother. I was already told that.
That's okay if you're watching Big Brother. You can watch this later.
Yes.
This is live currently. Hello, Susie Q. Susie Q. Hi, Laura. All right.
We'll get started. How's it going, everybody? So I don't have a finished card yet because I did a live and then it was crazy and then...
Yeah, other things going on. They're just busy. You seem to be busier now than you did when you had 2 jobs.
I know, right?
No, it's
but
crazy.
I'm doing more stuff for my crew. Yes. Where before it was just very like, ooh, no bueno, no bueno. All right, guys. So if you are a Patreon, you probably already have this file. But if you are not, I'm going to show you, of course, how you can get the file. But more importantly, what you can do with this. So if you guys are not familiar, we do have a Patreon.
Yes.
And one of the benefits is creating files for them to use with their favorite cutting machine. Now today we're going to be showing you how to make a card in Cricut Design Space, but you could make this card really in any of your favorite software. So Silhouette Studio, you could do it in Make the Cut, you could do it in Shortcuts a lot, really anything.
Inkspace.
Yeah, because it's an SVG file, so it could be everywhere. So we're going to get to that in one quick second. I did want to remind everyone, this is live, but some of you that watch it after it's live, definitely leave us a comment and love down below. We may not always respond to the comments, but I do always read the comments. And the reason I did a card today is I got a comment that said, hey, I know that you love Chalk Couture, but are you going to ever do cards again? Well, and of course we are. It's just a release month for Chalk Couture, so it's been crazy busy, which is great. Yeah. So below is going to be the links for this card. So we have a couple different links down there. We have everything that we're going to be using in the videos for the supplies. I also wanted to remind you, if you watched my live from the car earlier today, there's 2 big sales going on. The Cricut sale is huge. 50% off supplies, 50% off materials. So it's a huge one for everyone. Wow. Plus you can use KK10. That gets you an additional 10% off and free shipping. This sale only happens once a year. Click below. If you click on the links below, what happens if they click on our link, Sean?
With the KK10, you get 10% off and free shipping.
You just said that wrong, but that's okay. When you click on the links, these are an affiliate link. And an affiliate link will help support Ken's Creations.
Thank you.
So click on the links because that actually helps. And then Silhouette is actually giving 30% off specialty media. This is going to be like magnet paper, printable paper. They have 50% off starter kits and some great bundle pricing. Now, I will say this once, I'll say it again until the day I die. You guys, I know we are brand specific and we love our brands. I do too. Don't forget that when it comes to materials, cardstock, paper, specialty media, you can mix and match these with the machines. So I use my Cricut stuff all the time on my Silhouette, and I use my Silhouette stuff all the time on my Cricut machines. That's what's great about it, is you can use this stuff. So take advantage of the deals from both companies.
Yep. Because there might be one thing that one thing has that the other one doesn't quite, but it still works in both. So in this project, we are using a lot of the Cricut cardstock. It's one of my favorite cardstocks to use, but we are using some other stuff. And if you want to know or become a patron, definitely look at that link below. We appreciate that. So before we get started, just remind you, Sean is monitoring questions. As best as I can.
Yes, if you have a question, make sure it's in caps. That way we can see it. If you don't know about my video from the car, you can go watch that. I try to do it once a week. They're pretty random, but they're fun. They're without Sean, so I'm unmonitored, so it gets kind of crazy. So definitely that. Now like I said, we'll be showing it how we bring this in and everything. This is Cricut Design Space specific because that is probably what my big audience is right now on this. But once again, you can mimic this in any different thing. So before we get started, do you have a question already?
Eeyores Cool. I love the name. Did you get my Smurf email?
I have not even checked my emails yet.
There you go.
Check Cricut code or banner. I'm not sure what that means.
I think I may have forgot a K.
Oh,
I will fix that.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. I meant to hit.
OMG. Okay.
I will fix that.
He's going to be fired.
Fired.
One time, he misspelled my blog. The struggle is real, guys. The struggle is real.
Can you fix it?
Fix.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it will.
Can I see it? Now it says KK 110, and then it says K. Can I see it, please?
Oh,
real quick?
I must have hit something as I was closing it.
It's never his fault.
No, that one would be my... Sorry.
Technology's hard for him. Technology. I need to start spell checking everything for him.
I did hit the K as I left.
There you go, Shawnee. Oh my goodness.
My
I won't pick at him too much because I know Switcher Studios is a lot of work over there as a producer, director, and everything else.
Now it's fixed.
All right, thank you for letting us know that was incorrect so we can fix it for you right away. I appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Sean, will, like I said, will be monitoring questions. I already see one. Can the Cricut Maker do everything that the Cameo Portrait does? It can, and it's a little... I mean, the Maker is probably the most versatile machine on the market right now because of the force and all the tools. Yeah, so we can talk about that. This does not have to be done with the Maker. This is a paper product. So I want to make sure you guys know that I am using the Maker because it is...
the one that was in front.
It was
and you love it.
And I love it. So, all right, guys, let's get started. We're going to jump over to my desktop here. And once again, if you have any questions, Sean will be monitoring that. So the card we are making today is this. Now, you could put anything. I have squad goals because that's a cool hashtag going on right now. But this could be anything. I am going to leave this card as you see it off to the side just so you guys can see what the process is. But I will walk you through from start to finish what I am doing here. So we will start with building the card. Now, I am a fan of what size card, Sean?
It is an A2 card, which is 5.5 by 4.25.
I am so proud of you. All right, so we are going to first bring in a basic shape. Square, doesn't matter. Now, when you bring in a basic shape to Cricut Design Space, it always comes in at a 3.11111, and it's locked. And you know it's locked because you have this little lock machine right here. So what we'll do is we are going to change this first, the width, to a 4.25. And when we tab over or press tab or enter, it will also make it 4.25 because it's locked. Now you know it's locked because there is this little guy here. It's locked. See? So if I press that, now it's unlocked. It also unlocks up here. So that does the same function. But now I can change my height to a 5.5. Ta-da! Ta-da! So all we have to do is press that square, and now a rectangle. Come over here and press there's a little dot here. And we can just pick whatever color. Now what's great about in Cricut Design Space, it always brings up your project colors. So it already knows the colors of this card. But if not, you can just pick one. I just picked this gold. This is actually going to end up being a glitter cardstock. So we have our base card done. So now we just need to do the same thing. We're going to bring in another square. We'll follow through the process so you can see that again. So this time though, we're going to give it a little bit of an offset. So I just reduce it by 1/4 of an inch. So once again, I'm going to press this little lock here. And this time our width, instead of 4.25, it will be 4 inches. And our height will be 5.25. And this layer I want to be white. And so now I want to go ahead and make sure this is kind of in the center. It doesn't matter, I just kind of lay it over that gold card, draw a box around it, and we're going to come up here to see where these align tools are. And there is an align tool that just says center, and it perfectly centers your project.
Sweet.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, everybody says they love the Golden Girls.
So there is a whole rhyme and reason behind the Golden Girls.
Of course.
So when I'll just tell you, look, we can go up to the camera. Let's tell them a story why I'm even making this card. Sure. So the reason I'm making this card, so when I grew up, I was born 80. Golden Girls, I think it came out in like 85, 86.
Somewhere there.
So I was like really young. And my mom and my aunt were both into the Golden Girls. I think everyone was back then. And I lived with just my mom. My parents got a divorce. And so for me, but I remember watching it and thinking, oh, this is funny. And, you know, it's cute. But I didn't fully get it until I was like an adult. And these started coming out on I think Lifetime was carrying like it in syndication. So I started watching it probably in 9th grade because when it's late at night, it's summer break, you have nothing to watch, and so they put things on syndication. So I started watching it on Lifetime, and they had a marathon one time that was all of the seasons, and I watched it for like 2 weeks straight. And as an adult, the humor is so witty. And you get it. As a kid, you don't. As an adult, you get it.
And it was the same for me for MASH. I didn't get it, and then I watched it when I was older.
It's just so iconic. Yep. And so it's always had a special place. But it was kind of funny because probably it didn't really come back into the mainstream for about another, like even 5 years ago. I was almost embarrassed to say, like, I'm a huge fan of the Golden Girls. And then I started telling people, and they're like, so am I. So am I. And I think it's kind of has a place in pop culture history now.
I think it does, too.
It's so funny. And some of the jokes, like, I go back and rewatch it. I have all the seasons on DVD. Two TV series I go to when I'm sad is I Love Lucy and the Golden Girls. They're my go-to to get me out of a bad mood.
Yep.
And I tell you what, some of the jokes that they have in Golden Girls, I'm like, how did they get away with that in the 80s? Some of them are risque.
A little bit.
There's some episodes I remember. There's one specifically, I won't tell you what they're buying. They're in a supermarket and they're buying something to go on a cruise ship. You guys, any fans out there know what I'm talking about. And I was like, wow, this is kind of pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
It was one of the first one that also featured gay people.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, well, let's get back to the project. I just wanted to tell you why I'm making this card.
Somebody was just asking, where did you get the actual characters from?
So the characters I created in, that one I actually did in Illustrator. It took me, not Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, yeah. So it took me forever.
So you created them yourself?
Well, they're inspired. I'm not going to say I created like all the things and stuff. It was actually inspired by a t-shirt I saw on Google Images.
There you go.
So I had to break them into layers and do all sorts of stuff. So if you are a Patreon, you probably already have this. If not, when you upload, you just upload. There's 2 spots in Design Space. Over here, which is a, you know, basic images, SVGs, anything like that. And then this is for any digital paper. So if we hit Upload Image, Browse, it will bring up where you save it. Now I save all of mine right now on my Patreon, and then you'll see, so Patreon files, Patreon, and then I have Golden Girls here. So I've already uploaded them all. So I won't go back, and they are all right here. So I'm just gonna click all of them and hit Insert Images. So they'll come in at the size that I saved them at, and the sizes are saved kind of in order, meaning like obviously Dorothy's taller than everyone, Sophia's a little smaller frame, so they are a little bit of a different height, and you'll see that when we line them all up here. And Sophia should be the smallest, of course. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit my Shift key and then select all of them. And I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna hit the Align key, and I'm gonna make sure that they are aligned vertically. So if I center vertically, and the reason for this is that way I know that they're all aligned on their sizes, and obviously they're too big at this point, so I do need to shrink them down. But they're all, when they're all selected like this, I have this little button over here. It's a little arrow that's 2 arrows kind of facing opposite.
They're at a diagonal slot.
Yeah, and so when you move this, as long as they're all selected, it moves them as a group, like so. So that way you can keep the ratio of sizes. And I think I want to do them at a 1.75 height, which is up here again. Now it's very important, we need to make sure this is locked now because we want to keep our height width ratio. So I think I'm going to do them at a 1.75. Hit enter, and it will shrink them down to that and keep them exactly where they're at.
They're asking who was your favorite character.
Oh gosh.
They were all good.
It depends on what mood I was in. I loved how Rose was so innocent and almost childish, but probably Sophia just because of the one-liners she would say. So you can arrange them however you want on the card. I put the ones with more of the hair, because you got to remember this was in the 80s, so they had hair in opposite from each other. So I did Rose in this corner, and then I think I did Blanche there, Sophia there, and then Dorothy there. This part really doesn't matter because this is a paper piecing, so we're going to place it wherever we want, but I will still select Rose and Blanche and make sure they're centered. And this is just to make sure, vertical, just to make sure that it looks appeasing, I guess, is the best way to do it. So we'll do that here too. So we'll center this vertically.
Yes, Mary, you are correct. Rose is the only one that is still alive. Betty White.
So the last thing is adding our sentiment. Now, I am a huge fan in Cricut Design Space of writing fonts. Writing fonts are a font that literally gives a writing style. It's one of the things that Cricut Design Space does extremely well, and right now, not a lot of other softwares, some softwares do it and you can find them, but I think it's great. So I did squad goals. You could do a, thank you for being a friend. You could do individual cards. Like my original idea, I'll show you, like if you wanted to. My original idea was to have like, Sophia, but have her bigger, like so, and then doing catchphrases. So like you could say under her, picture it Sicily, or just picture it, something like that. On our Rose Island card, you could, do this and say, in St. Olaf, we, whatever. There's a lot of funny ones with Blanche that are a little bit more adult themed, but you guys know that. And then, of course, Dorothy just always has the really good, witty comments. But look at, a great place to look for quotes is to go to IMDb, look up Golden Girls, and then look under their quote section. And they have all the famous quotes from the show that you could take inspiration from. But I didn't want to go something like stay golden. A lot of people say stay golden. A lot of people say, thank you for being a friend. But right now, a big trending thing is squad goals, which is basically, I think did I misspell squad? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, let's see. Squad. I didn't misspell squad, did I?
SQUAD.
Why does it look so weird? So squad is, people, girlfriends say I have a squad. They're my girl squad and stuff. So I'm going to keep with that. So to add in a text, we're just going to hit text. And hashtag, for those of you who don't know, are always a huge thing. And we're just going to type what we want. Now, oops, that time I did misspell it. There we go. So I've already have this as set, but to change the font, it's very simple. You can come up here to where it says font, the down arrow, it brings up all of your fonts, system fonts, which are just fonts that you've downloaded from external sites, and then Cricut fonts, which I'm going to do Cricut font because that's where the writing fonts are. So once I'm at the Cricut font, I'll click filter and change it to writing. And this will bring up any of the writing fonts Cricut has. And my go-to font, I will be honest, is called Straight and Simple. So if you go all the way down, it will be...
Is it alphabetical?
It is alphabetical.
Sweet.
And it is a access. So if you are a Cricut Access member, you should have access to this. And it's right here, Straight and Simple. So that's the one I used. So once you have this, the big thing is we just need to resize it. And I think I'm going to resize this. You know what? I'm going to kind of scrunch it down until it fits.
Yes, Melanie, we are using an Apple computer. This is the MacBook Pro.
So now that I have it kind of where I want it, I want to make sure that this is centered inside of this card because we're actually going to be writing on this white piece of cardstock. So if I select my font, hit the Shift key and select the white, it will put a box just around those. I can then hit Align and make sure it is centered horizontally. You might see it move a little bit. So basically what this did is it just took that font layer and just the white layer. The rest of it ignored. And now that I have it where I want it, I can actually attach it. There's this attach feature. The best way to think of attach is you're taking your text and literally as if you are pinning it on a board and saying, I want this to be attached, as in it goes together on that white rectangle. And by doing that, it will draw that exactly where you placed it on there. So we'll hit attach. And you'll see everyone else disappear, which is not a big deal. It just means that you've attached that layer. We can arrange it. Basically, if we go up to the arrange and hit move to back, and then we'll click on the yellow layer and hit move to back on that, and it fixes that. The last thing is we are gonna, that writing layer is gonna be in gold versus black. So all you have to do is click the layer, come over to where it's highlighted, because it always highlights your layer. See how it's darker than the other parts? And if I click on the black again, it brings up all of Cricut's native pens, meaning these are pens that they offer. And I'm just going to put gold tip of 1, and you should see now it's gold. And guess what? We're almost ready to go, Sean.
Yay!
But I wanted to show you something. So I'm going to select this one here just for time, or for you know, I want to show you something. We're going to turn that one off completely because I want to show you what ends up happening when I hit go. So when you bring in an SVG, let's say from anyone, if you have a favorite place you buy your SVGs, all that good jazz, and you hit, all right, I'm good, I'm going to make it, and you hit make it, and this happens. It automatically sorts things by color. And you'll notice I have 23 mats at this time. So, whoa, that's a lot of colors. So obviously we do not want that. So if I go to, in my Cricut menu here, there's a color sync. It brings up all of the images in different colors. Well, we know, like, for example, their faces should all be the same color. So if I move one face and kind of do this where it's kind of moving them all together like that, you see how all their faces now are all the same color. Same with their lips. Their lips really can be all the same color. So all I do is click on that one lip, drag it up to the other one, and it color syncs those. So basically a color sync is saying this is exactly the same color. Same thing here, like this is a white layer, and this here is, I think, Sophia's hair. So just, it should be white. So we're gonna put that all together. All of these are their little tiny earrings, and I really want them to all be gold. Right here, these are all of their cheeks. So all of their cheeks can be the same. So we literally are just dragging those, and this is going to reduce the amount of layers that we have. So these here are their earrings, so we can make all of their earrings the same color just to reduce work on our part. And you'll see where it's basically saying which layer do you want this on. And by there, we went down from 24 mats down to 8. So now if I hit make it, it'll sort it by mats, and instead of 24 mats, now I only have 11 mats. Which is still a lot of mats, but it's doable. All right, so before I start cutting, any questions on this portion, Sean?
So far, not yet.
Okay.
Somebody asked where you could find the images, but I answered that one already.
Perfect, thank you, Sean.
You bet.
All right, so I'm just gonna hide everything here. So we should have...
Could you print and cut this?
Absolutely. The files come with a PNG file, which is a image that's already been layered. Or, remember in Cricut, let me grab this lovely lady here. If you have an image selected, that is layered images, if you see down here where it says flatten, you would just hit flatten, and now she's a print and cut file. So if we were to go up to her, see how it says right now, Sean? It's a print and cut file now.
That's
it's
right.
not a cut.
Yep.
So you can change any image from a layered image to a print and cut with flat, or you can upload a PNG file and do the same thing.
So Guadalupe is asking, does the linking only work on a Mac?
The what?
The linking.
The color syncing?
I'm not sure, but she just says, does the linking only work on a Mac?
If it's a color sync, if that's what you're talking about, that should be on any computer. It shouldn't matter the computer you're using. That's a feature of Cricut Design Space.
Melanie did her first print and cut, and her mind was blown.
All right. That is a great question, Zodiac Girl. So she wants to know why I didn't put the earrings on the gold layer, because the gold layer, that base layer, we're actually going to be using a glitter cardstock, and their earrings were not. We're actually just using an earrings cardstock, essentially. That is a good question, though.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think I might have accidentally done that, so I'm glad you caught that. So we want to bring that on its own layer, which I don't know if it's going to allow me now. So, oh well, I'll just do this. I'm going to go back to the layers, and on anywhere I see their little earrings, I'm going to change it to a softer gold color. And this is just because the cardstock will be a glitter, and the earrings are pretty small, and I do not want to cut that on glitter cardstock. They're pretty tiny. So now when I see color sync, all my earrings are on a different gold. So I know to use This is glitter stock and regular. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make this bad boy. All right, Shani.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yay.
All right, so are we on us now?
We're actually down below.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we have my mat ready to go.
Okay.
Is everything okay, or?
Yeah, just make sure you did that and hit that, which made the camera.
I am so sorry.
Quite all right.
Do I need to go? Am I like put in timeout, or am I good? Let's do it.
Oh, I just hit that.
Oh, weird. What happened there, Sean?
This actually, I put this over there and it clicked on.
See, he always is telling me I did things wrong.
No, I did that one.
All right, so the first layer is white. We're just using a plain white cardstock here, and I'm just using this on, my favorite mat is the blue mat, just is. What's happening? What's going on?
Just getting this a little more in view.
Okay.
That's all.
Excuse me. And anytime I'm using a mat that's been used, I will brayer it. I have the new Cricut brayer on order, guys. I'm so excited. This is I think this is Fun Stamper's Journey block brayer. Okay, so this first thing, we are gonna go ahead and hit continue on my desktop. We do need to connect to my Maker machine, and I'm gonna be connecting Bluetooth, so hopefully this works. And we will be using the gold pen right away. This is the medium tip. Let's see if I can get it up close there if you guys can see that. This is the medium tip 1.0 gold.
Yeah.
All right, so we are there. I'm gonna change this. Now this cardstock I'm using is 150 pound. So because of that, I'm going to make sure that I'm selecting the heavy cardstock in Cricut Design Space. So we're gonna do medium cardstock, it's 80 pound, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more pressure to it. So a little more pressure. Now on Cricut, on my desktop, can you show them that, Shani? Mm-hmm. So basically I chose medium cardstock. Here on pressure, you can just add a little more. Now it's telling me you're gonna wanna put your gold pen and clamp A, the fine point and clamp B, then load your mat. So that's what we are going to do. So we're gonna put this in. So it clicks into place. And when I put a pen in, just so you guys know, I always put my finger under here and stabilize it. And then push the pen in. So then it's in good. This is clamp B, and this is the fine point blade. So you can see that. And that goes in clamp B. So that's why I was saying you could use this on really any machine. We're going to load the mat. As I wrote on my paper, Sean.
What?
That's what I thought. I'm gonna move this back a little.
What's our printer that we use when we do print cuts?
We use the Canon IP80.
It's a Canon. It doesn't matter. You can, Guadalupe, you can print on any color printer you want.
8720.
8720?
Yep. All right.
There you go.
So I am going to go ahead and I'm not going to do fast mode, and we are going to hit go. The one thing I forgot to do that I normally do is I test my pen, but it looks like it's okay. Hopefully. Yep, we're good. So now it's going to do its thing. All the other ones I probably will do double speed, which is an option in Design Space. If you have the Cricut Explore Air 2 or the Maker, you should be able to do twice the cutting speed. Mm-hmm. And then we are going to be using gold glitter cardstock. That was that one layer, and it matches this pen because it's Cricut, so that's nice, and so that's what I was kind of going for. So now what we'll do, it's cutting. It's going over there, detecting to make sure we have the right tool in, and it's putting in its place, and then it's going to go ahead and do the cutting part. Now normally you wouldn't have to do more pressure if you're using, like, for example, Cricut cardstock. It's already preset in there. But because I'm using 110 pound cardstock, that is the reason I added more pressure to this. Okay, it's blinking saying you are good to go, sir. So I'm gonna take my pen out just so I don't dry it out, put that back in. And while I'm getting the next layer, Sean can show you our results here.
Yabba dabba do.
Yabba dabba do, that's the wrong. Okay, when I peel cardstock away, just so you guys know, I don't take this and go like this. I actually move the mat like that, and then it comes off. So this way it doesn't curl. So if you have little pieces like this, if you were to go like this and go like this, it curls your paper. But if you go like this and do that with the mat and just kind of slightly do it, it doesn't curl that. All right, so, oh, careful, Sean. Oh, no, we're good. All right, so if you want to kind of show them that, I'm going to go ahead and do the next layer here, which is gray. Now, I am using Cricut gray cardstock for this.
There we are. All right, catch up on anything.
All right. Any questions while we're going through this part?
Is your HP printer? Oh, that's for somebody else because we don't have an HP. How do I open up the zip file on an iPad?
I don't know if you can on an iPad. I could be wrong. There might be applications for that. So I'm not saying that you can't do it, but I would look that up in an application. All right. So I'm going to change my settings. Do you want to go to computer again real quick, Sean? So on the Maker, to change the settings, since we don't have a smart dial, once you put a new paper in, you just click on this little down arrow up there. It brings up all of this. And we're going to do medium cardstock. And I don't need to worry about more pressure. I can just do default. We're going to hit fast mode. And that's that little radio dial right here. That off means it's regular mode. That on means it's 2 times the speed. Once we're ready, we can come back over to the little Cricut guy. A little heads blinking saying you are good to go. Hit that, and we should be good.
Goes.
You can put these, when we do the cheeks and stuff, Sean, then go on here, which is really tiny. Well, that was quick.
So we get for the double.
So, the great thing about this right now is this cardstock is on sale right now. So this is part of the 50% off. So it ends up being $5 for a pack. And you can use the code KK10. That gets you an additional 10% off. This cardstock is textured. So you want to pay attention when you're putting it down on your mat, because it does have a little bit of a texture to it. And since all the rest of this is pretty much the same paper until we get to glitter, I can go ahead and keep all of my settings, keep fast mode, all of that, and we should be able to get through this pretty quick. Now, when it comes to some smaller pieces, I do take just a really, this is just a piece of copier paper, fold it in half, and I will put my smaller pieces sometimes inside there or set them down to be very gentle. So that way we're not losing pieces. Make sure though, when you're doing this, that you're putting it the right side up. So this is, you can see on Cricut cardstock, it has a, let me get real close. See how it has a texture on one side? And if you flip it over on the other side, it does not. You want to make sure your texture side is up so you don't mix that up. Hey everyone.
Hey Simon.
All right, so the next layer, these are pretty tiny. These, I believe, are their
lips?
Their lips. If you ever don't know, can you go to the desktop really quick?
Yeah.
So a little trick on this, a lot of people don't know, is if you're not sure and you're like, gosh, I don't remember how big do I need to cut my piece of paper, if you just take your mouse and hover over your mat, it will bring your mat up. Oh my gosh, those are so tiny.
They are.
Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. This will be interesting. They're itty bitty. So I also obviously use the colors that are given as a guideline. Oh my gosh, these are going to be so tiny. So I have a tool for this, Sean.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's going to be able to cut them.
We'll find out in a second.
Oh, look at those little lips. Oh my gosh, those are so tiny. I'll show you the negative piece there. Look at how tiny those are. They're so cute. All right, so these are teeny tiny. So we're gonna put them, make sure you put them the right way up. And I am using, this is an amazing tool to have. These are from the Cricut weeding tool set. And they give you these really nice tweezers to grab pieces. The nice thing is most of these, even if we put them upside down, you're not gonna be able to tell them. All right, there we go. So this next layer is, I think this is Sophia's glasses. So this would be super cute. If you're doing her as a bigger image, so right now obviously I'm getting all 4 in a card, so they're super tiny. But if you were doing Sophia as a bigger image, you could get some acetate paper and put them behind the glasses to kind of give it that cool reflective look. Mm-hmm. What are you showing?
Oh, we were on the computer when you showed it. It was my fault for not flopping over. Oh. That's how teeny tiny they are.
Sean is failing as my producer.
Yes.
Can you please do a better job?
Yes.
Or I will have to, unfortunately, let you go.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it will be a very sad day for me. I don't want to do it as much as you don't want it to happen, Sean, but at Ken's Kreations Incorporated...
Show them the tweezers again, they did say.
As Ken's Kreations Incorporated, we take things very seriously here. And we cannot afford or stand for mistakes.
Well, there you go.
Except from the CEO. The CEO can make mistakes.
Yes.
Look at those glasses, Sean. Aren't those cute? Oh, Sean. Are you ready? OMG. These are their cheeks. And these are uber tiny. Like, these are smaller than the lips, Sean.
These are smaller than the lips?
Oh, yeah, because these are their little tiny cheeks.
Cheeky cheek.
They're little cheeks. They're so cute. I used to, this is what I kind of got my start in. Do you remember me always doing paper piecings? Mm-hmm. And I would take little tiny daubers and ink them. We're not inking them, but that's what we used to do.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it does take a lot of time, but it is super cute. I haven't done paper piecing in a long time. Oh, this makes me want to watch this show so bad. I love this show. It's such a good show. Oh my smallness. Oh, Shawnee, these are teeny. Oh, they're so tiny they stick to my... All right. Most of them might come up with the paper, which I knew they would because they're so tiny. So this is why I have a nice piece of copy paper, is just to put your pieces, especially tiny pieces. Just be careful because when they're this tiny, look at how tiny they are. One little breath and they go everywhere.
Just buy Ken some Ray Dunn stuff and he'll forgive you.
This is true. Ray Dunn is the key to my heart right now, Sean. But it has to be large letter. If you bring me home anything that's not large letter, we're over.
Do you have a jewelry pick for the tiny pieces?
I do, and I can't find it. Actually, I have two. I have a jewelry pick, and I also have the Silhouette. Silhouette had I don't know what they call their tool, but it's got like putty on the end of it, I think. And I have that, and I can't find it. So I just need to buy a new one. Because obviously that works amazing for tiny little pieces. So this is their little faces, Shawnee.
What's that?
I think. Oh, wait, no. Uh-oh.
What did you do wrong?
Oh, no, this is their faces. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. We're good. Faces are hard, in my opinion, because some faces are like a peach color. Obviously, you have ethnic faces that are all different colors. And then you have, some people will do like what I'm doing, a cream cardstock. So I always find faces to be hard.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't... Let's see, what is
Quick stick, that's what it was called. Yep.
Right. This is why I make 5x7 cards, because they're bigger. Angela says she just uses
the
markers
pickup tool. Yep.
And markers if they're that tiny.
Oh, I think Quick Stick and the pickup tool, that was, I think Silhouette called it the pickup tool. Yeah, pick me up tool, that's what it was called. You guys are absolutely correct. It's also important when you're doing stuff with small to have a good mat. If you have a mat that is not sticky enough, sometimes your pieces will, or when it picks it up and stuff, it will actually pick up your pieces with it, and it can be no bueno.
No bueno, no bueno, no bueno.
All right, so this is, who knows whose these little pieces are? Oh, I needed that, but that's...
I'll show you how fine point these are. Jessica says she may need to use magnifying glasses for this.
Well, you can, like I said, my original idea, but I just didn't have enough time, was to do 4, I have to get that because I didn't use my brayer and now I regret it. So I'm trying to make sure I don't rip it. So my original idea was to do 4 cards with, there are kind of catch sayings under it, I guess. And that... I just ran out of time. But in that case, they would be bigger. I mean, I think the images were, you know, good 4 inches tall, 5 inches, so you wouldn't be this small.
We remember keepers called theirs the Quick Stick.
See, everyone has their own little versions. All right, next up is hair. We're starting hair. The first one is Blanche. Now, this is the only cardstock that I'm using that is not their traditional cardstock. This is actually their scrapbooking paper line. So you'll notice on this one, it's got kind of a burn color and a grid. So this is the only one that's not their traditional cardstock. Get their little eyes off there, Shawnee.
Get off, get them off. I like my katana stick.
Yes, that is, I need one of those too. I agree. Why don't I have a nightly drink, Sean?
Come to Naples and we can with Melanie.
Naples? Did you say Naples or nipples?
Naples, N-A-P-L-S. Yes. This you said came with the, which set did these tweezers come from?
The weeding set.
The weeding set. This is the weeding set that these came from.
Well, that was quick. These hairs should go by pretty quick.
Yeah. And the katana stick is awesome. Ken reviewed it at CHA.
I love it. I just need to buy it.
I'm trying to remember it.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of remember the name, but I don't remember the actual product look.
Oh, you weren't there with me, though. That's why.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Okay, so this is Rose's hair. Because Rose had kind of very light grayish blonde. It was more like a very light blonde, where Blanche had a dirty blonde. Dorothy was gray and Sophia was white. Okay. Okay, their earrings are going to be so tiny. I don't even know if it's going to, I don't know. We'll have to, who knows, Sean? This could be bad.
We'll probably want to do that on a slow cut.
Well, we could all, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Shawnee.
Yep.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
Yeah, but that is your catchphrase today, isn't it?
I guess it is.
All right, so this is the glitter cardstock. This is actually Cricut glitter, and So we'll have to change our settings to match that because it is a thicker, and I do believe it cuts this twice.
Okay, I've downloaded zip and I still can't get the zip to open. Sorry for being a pain.
So if you're on an iPad, I do not know unless you have a special app. On a computer, you just double click it. So I would literally go to the App Store and look up zip.
Melanie says, when my husband and I started dating, we would watch the Golden Girls and eat pizza rolls.
I love...
So many good memories.
Oh my gosh, I love pizza rolls. You have no... Nope, I have to change it.
I'm waiting.
You have no idea how much I love pizza rolls. All right, and... Okay.
Yes, sir, you can use cardstock.
Can we use cardstock for what?
I'm not sure, but I'm assuming you can use cardstock on pretty much anything we're doing, which is what we're doing.
Yep. You could also do this in vinyl. Mm-hmm. You can stick vinyl, layered vinyl on cards, and it gives it a completely different look, almost a print and cut look. What's nice about Cricut glitter cardstock is it doesn't flake off.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Can you make the mats re-sticky after so many uses?
Yep.
Yep, sure can. You can wash it.
I just take baby wipes and clean it real good and let it come back to life. Okay, the last thing are these earrings. This will... Oh, this paper is no bueno.
No bueno, no bueno, no bueno.
Okay, so we are using... I didn't put this down below, but we are using pearl paper, Sean, for this.
Pearl.
Now, a couple things on pearl paper is it's thinner, so for more delicate pieces like this, it cuts a little easier in my opinion than a thicker cardstock. And it is got a nice metallic sheen to it already. You can make it darker gold if you want to, which I can show you how in a second, or you can leave this and it already kind of has a very subtle jewelry look, sheen, pearl look to it.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to do like a really coarse like glitter paper, in my opinion.
No.
All right, so we're going to change this to pearl paper. Once again, we're going to go to... Thank you, Sean. So we're going to go to cardstock. So basically all I did was press up here. There's a little down arrow, browse all materials. Go down, and if you don't see it, you're like, well, where's pearl paper? We can actually just search pearl, and it is right there. So pearl paper, pearl vinyl. Anytime you see a little Cricut head, that just means it is a Cricut material. And now we can push go. Fingers crossed this works because these are tiny. These are uber tiny. We might be just using a glitter pen, Sean.
Ranch on a deep dish pizza.
Mmm.
On your
Oh,
pizza.
Nope. Nope.
You don't think so?
They're so tiny, Sean. Yeah, it's not gonna... I need a strong mat, I think. Yeah, they're so tiny. We'll just use a pen. They're teeny, 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 tiny.
How do you store your scrap paper?
In a box. Or a 12 by 12. I forget what they're called. Yeah. They're tiny. Nope. We'll use pen.
Pen.
All right, guys. So we are done with the Cricut.
Oop.
Oh, sorry, guys. My bad. Is everything okay? Are we good?
Yep. There we go. Instead of using cardstock for the earrings, could you use sticky jewels?
Yes.
Iron-on rhinestones? Do you have any that are small enough?
Yeah, let me see if I have any. I don't think I do. Let me see. I'll be right back, Sean.
He'll be right back. This is why we need cordless or wireless microphones.
Okay, so let's go ahead and build the girls.
Bring back my... That was just your power thing.
That scared the bejesus.
Falling over.
All right, so Sean, you might have to zoom in at this. Can you or no?
What's that?
You really don't like paying attention to me, do you?
I was reading questions like you want me to. So what you're asking?
I won't ask you again. I'm good. Can you zoom in, please?
Yes, I can.
All right, so let's start with Rose. Now, I would bring up your images back onto Design Space. I am using for the bigger parts this, which is the Xyron Mini. So they have a 9-inch and they have a 5-inch. So this is the 5-inch. It does have permanent adhesive. You know that because it's pink. And the reason everyone asks me, why do you use this? In my opinion, it does a really good job at putting a nice, consistent layer of adhesive. So this is Blanche. All right, so we have Blanche. That's Rose right there. So I'm going to position these how they are on my card. So we have Rose, Blanche, Sophia, and Dorothy. Okay, so we are going to start with, and so we're just going to kind of see where we're at to match everything up. And we are going to have a little bit of an offset around them. So we're going to start with Rose here. And so we do have to match up their face, but you should be able to use Design Space. I also have my Xyron X. So let's start with, we might be able to use this for pretty much everything. Nope, I'm going to use this. So we'll start with her hair in the Xyron. So there's her hair. And like I said, the reason I like this is it gives you a nice layer of adhesive all the way around. This is her face. So we're going to just put that because it fits into the Xyron X. So that way I'm not wasting too much, because you can see on this one, there's a lot of dead space there. If you actually get rid of this, it will make you faster now too, just so you know. So we will start with our hair for spacing reasons, because we have, like I said, that nice shadow over everything. And we're just going to peel this away, just like that. Now, if you want to, you can use a picker tool or anything to go around that too, because it does, sometimes if you don't rub it enough, you'll get little spaces here that have adhesive. So I sometimes take any kind of picker tool, and just kind of break that up. Now, when you're pulling something off of a Xyron sheet like this, always make sure to go to a piece of the paper that has a thicker part, because if you try to pull from these tiny little pieces, you do have the risk of ripping them. So you want to be very careful and do the same thing you would do with your mat and almost peel it away, and it will kind of pop off. But what's nice is it has a nice piece of adhesive, so I don't have to worry too much about making sure, okay, did I not get adhesive on that part? And like anything, this is going to have a little bit of an offset around it. And I already messed up my offset. It's a good thing I didn't push all the way down yet. The only reason sometimes I will use they have a green, which is the repositionable adhesive. And sometimes I will use that because you can easily take it off. There we go. Take it off without it ripping. What's wrong? Am I not in center at all? It's so hard for me to see that when I'm doing this.
That's right. I'm good. We're good.
Oh, good. So there is, like I said, a little bit of black around everything. So it's kind of like a shadow black. So this, even her face will not go right up to it. When I'm building the rest of them, you guys, I'm going to walk you through this one, but the rest of them we can ask questions and talk about different things. I won't have to walk you through it all. My plan was to have most of this built and just go over certain pieces, but I just ran out of time. So you guys get to spend extra time with us building this card. So once again, I just kind of go in there and see if there's any pieces. And anytime you're working with an offset, just remember to yourself, it's kind of the best way to think of it is, think of it as a coloring book. You're going to have that little piece of black all the way around. So when you're positioning it, you should be able to kind of see. So now we have, she's starting to come together.
Where do you find those two machines? I like them.
So I gave you the links down below on the Amazon. I'm obsessed with these. I often get people saying, oh, why do you like that versus, you know, just using glitter. The problem is I have a heavy hand. And when you have a heavy hand, when I push glue out, even when I use this, which I love, it's great. When you have a heavy hand and you push it, it almost like, so for me, the Xyron is great. It's originally was, I think, kind of made for kids to turn anything into a sticker, is what the purpose was. And scrapbookers, card makers alike, all started using it because it's perfect for adding a single piece of adhesive on everything. So now I have that, as you can see, it's on there, and there's no glue. It just gives it a nice layer. So for me, I like that. All right, next are cheeks. We're not going to worry too much about whose is whose cheek. They are all a little bit different, but a cheek is a cheek. Sometimes these little pieces, let me bring it in there, see that? I'll put them in there, and then I just do this. And if they still get stuck, that's where your tweezers come in. And you just kind of push it, because you want it to be down in where it makes a sticker and pull on it. And you'll know right away. See, I still only have one, so one is still kind of in there, and I'll just kind of guide it down and say, you can do it. There she is. Whew, those are tiny, Sean.
Very itty bitty.
Let me show you guys how tiny these are. So this is why I love the Xyron Maker, is because you're getting a consistent layering of adhesive on there for these teeny tiny pieces. Once again, I'm just going to kind of curl this up. It'll come around. The reason I curl it up is sometimes if you pull it off, the adhesive will stay on and can create kind of a problem. You don't have to do the cheeks. You could actually add a little bit of, I decided to do these all as paper, but you could add a little bit of, what am I thinking, Sean? A marker, if you wanted to, but I wanted the look of paper. Okay, so for their earrings, I did find these. So whoever's idea that was great. I don't have any of the teeny tiny ones. We'll see how big these should work. But you could also use like a marker. But whoever's idea this was, thank you so much, because this will be perfect. Whose idea was it?
Let's see.
It's fine, you don't have to.
Carol Lawrence.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol. We'll use different sizes to kind of change it up. I do have silver ones of these, but I kind of wanted them all to be gold. There we go. What do we think? There's little Rose. She's so cute. All right, John, so let's open it up to questions, anything anyone wants to talk about while I build the rest of these. I don't want to bore them with just me building it again, but they can still watch it as I go along it.
See if we missed any. Yes, you can definitely find the Xyron at all the craft stores, Amazon, Walmart. So yeah, pretty easy to do that. Can't see the lips. Oh, we'll show you it again. Hold on. Let's see. Where's Word Rose?
Right here.
Oh, there she is. Hello.
Ta-da!
Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Yeah, the earrings are perfect.
Yeah. Blanche's will be a little bit different because Blanche, she was supposed to have little danglies hanging out, so we're going to eliminate the danglies because I don't believe I have danglies. I could be wrong. So I'll go look at my stash of knick-knack paddywhack. But I don't believe I do, which is kind of a sad.
You could use Nouveau drops for earrings.
You could?
Yeah. So this is where you start just thinking of things you've seen or done before in the past and start going, hey, this would work really good.
I will say, I was going to...
Stickles, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to use, or ink it too, if I was going to create the project. I wasn't going to show you guys all the cutting, and I was going to ink my edges. I am a firm believer in inking edges.
I love inking edges. Okay, we have all of our pieces, so let's start with her hair. So if you guys don't know what inking your edges mean, if you take your like stuff like this, you can grab a little sponge dauber that goes on your finger, and you can use any of your favorite inks, and you basically ink the edges to give it a darker edge around it, and it kind of gives it a shadow effect. Kind of think of it as, you know, when you're coloring with markers, you want to get that nice shadowing effect. It's the same kind of concept.
So yeah, these do not have a nose. Oh, Swarovski crystals would be really sparkly.
Yes, I need to order some of those. They're a little expensive, and at first I was like, I am not paying this much money because they're expensive. And then I actually saw them in person when I went to the
Puyallup Fair.
The Puyallup Fair. Make sure I'm on camera.
You are.
Oh, thanks, Shoni. And they're worth it. I mean, they're gorgeous crystals. And I have to say, you know, there's certain things in the crafting world that you could get away with, you know, pretty much using anyone's brand or something. And those crystals, once I saw them in person, I think that's what attracted me to the cards, to be honest, at first, was those crystals. They were absolutely...
Yes, Carol, that's what he was trying to say at one point, that if you wanted, you could do markers or a pen to create these if you didn't want to actually cut it.
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Well, you were saying that you could use
oh, I'm sorry.
markers to make the cheeks.
I thought you meant like you could draw these and then color them, but I see what you're saying. Yes, you could do all of this and save yourself all of this, but I will tell you there is something satisfying about that one had a little piece of glue sticking out, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't on there.
Yes, that, Melanie, that is another way of using that, using a pen around your Xyron pieces to help get it to be really nice and clean when you pull it off.
Yep. And you wouldn't have to do the cheeks, but these are kind of a, I don't want to say they're a chibi look, because I know, or not chibi, starts with a K. Someone correct me. What is that called? It's a Japanese style kawaii or
Kabuta.
You are so funny, Sean. Kabuta. All right, so we're gonna give her some nice little earrings. She has dainty ears because she is a Southern lady.
Southern Belle.
Oh, she is a Southern Belle. All right, cutie patootie Blanche's done.
We'll do a close up here.
Okay. I'm gonna start working on Sophia while Sean gives you that close up. So Sophia is the only one that really has that extra piece, which is her her glasses. She also has, I don't want to say it's a frown, it's more of a
straight mouth.
Yeah, because she's, you know, kawaii. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoever said that.
Looks like Hawaii without the H.
It does?
Kawaii.
Oh. You are right.
Belinda says they are my addictions. I order from Stamplistic when they send out their specials for those crystals.
They do. They have specials. Go to their, what she's talking about is on their Facebook page and their email. And the Facebook page will remind you that they're coming, but they have where they are basically, gosh, I forget how much, but she gives you a percentage off, essentially. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the only one that is going to get different earrings is Miss Sophia, because if you watch back a lot of the Golden Girls, do you know what kind of earrings she has?
No.
She has pearl, most of the time.
Pearls?
So I think I have those.
Ah.
Hold, please.
Holding. We'll do this instead.
Huh?
Oh, look, you get pearls.
That's what I just said.
I know.
Pearls. Wait a minute. I mixed up my girls. No, I didn't.
No.
Okay. What questions we got, Shani?
What is the red button on Ken's watch?
A red button on my monitor. Oh,
mine too. That's mine. I think this means this is the third generation that has cellular.
It is?
Yeah, only these have the red on it. The rest do not.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That's what I think it is. It's
about.
It makes sense.
Sean, you have so much knowledge in your little noggin.
Cindy says, I have a cute picture to show you. I'm a groomer, and I had a dog that was watching you both intently the other day while I was drying her, and I thought it was cute.
Aww. You know I have a soft spot for little puppies, so.
Love the dogs. Of course, always trying to find a good groomer.
Sean is very particular on the grooming.
Yeah.
Whenever we go to a groomer, I don't think he's, in all the times we've groomed our dogs, he's only been happy maybe once.
Maybe once.
He is so particular.
It was with Austin.
And the entire time when he is happy, Ken, look at their butt. Look at their butt. See, look at that butt. I'm like, I don't really want to look at the dog's butt, Sean. Well, but look at it. It's feathering. Look at that feathering.
It's the hindquarters.
Yes. So he is very particular.
I just watched your Ken from the car again because you made me laugh so hard the first time.
Well, during that,
I didn't get to watch. I only watched literally the last 30 seconds.
Okay, so what happened is I was out in my driveway, and I, of course, was hot. So no big deal because it's hot. I mean, we hit like 94 today, I think.
No, I think we only got to 90 today.
Well, anyways, and the next thing I know, my phone has a thermostat pop up with red in it and says, your phone is too hot. The temperature of your phone is so hot that you have been put into some sort of mode.
Uh-oh.
What?
That's bad.
Oh, I thought you were saying, I did something wrong.
Nope.
And so it basically said, so sad, so bad, and you couldn't do anything. So I instantly took my case off and put it in front of my air conditioner. The only thing it would let you do is place an emergency call. And I didn't know that's what it meant. It just said emergency, so I pressed emergency. It goes straight. Like, you press it, it goes straight to 911. So I hung up. Thank goodness no one showed up because it didn't even dial it. But
he usually will call you back to make sure you are okay.
So, but it was like, it turned off. So there is a part in that video where it goes, I think, black for probably 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh my. Because
it's waiting for me to reconnect. And it let me reconnect. I thought I was going to have to start a new live. And it just said, you have a live currently in session. Do you just want to reconnect to that? And I said, yes. So when you're building Sophia, her glasses are just going to touch, Sean can show you, but they're just going to touch, here, let me put these on, her cheeks. And then these are essentially the same thing as gold, but they are
pearls.
Thank you, Sean.
You had a stalker in a white van?
Oh my gosh, Sean. Okay, yes. Let's talk about that. So I wanted to go live at 2 because I wanted to have enough time to make one of these cards so they weren't, so this live wouldn't be so long. And so I go out at 2 o'clock and there is a white truck sitting in front of our house. Just sitting there, not doing anything. Car running, Idaho plates. And I'm thinking, that's weird. I'll just wait for him to leave. He never, like 2:15 finally came around and I was like, if I don't do this live now, our live tonight is going to be super long. And there it is. And sure enough, I had to start the video and be like, guys, there is this white truck literally just sitting, like literally directly, where our mail lady always parks, right? Mm-hmm. Right there. And then as soon as he left, there was like 4 vans, white vans. They were marked, but still, that kept driving. I was like, I'm going to get trafficked. Like, I'm going to be a human trafficker. And then I was like, well, they can't traffic fat people because they can't lift us. So then I was like, well, I'm not going to get, you know, I'm not going to be a human trafficker because they can't lift me. Which then I get a complex because, like, you know, am I not cute enough to be, like, sold to someone in Russia?
You are, absolutely.
Oh, gosh, Sean, you are so funny.
Oh, did you give a Jurassic review?
Oh, it's so sad. I didn't give a review. I just said, has anyone seen it? And a lot of people were like, yes. And I said, is it not the saddest movie ever? I cried. Like, Sean can attest. Like, I was literally closing my eyes, bawling.
Yep.
Because it's got some sad moments in it. Like, there is a moment that is so sad. It's so sad. I don't want to give it away, but it's sad. And I thought it was just me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a baby. So in the theater, as soon as I was done having, you know, hyperventilating, I Googled, is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom sad? And everyone was talking about this one scene. So I told Sean, it's okay. Even though I'm sad, it's okay to be sad because everyone's sad. And then there's some other parts in the movie. But I did at one time look over to Sean and I said, Sean, I am letting you know right now, if they kill Blue, I'm done. I am never watching a Jurassic World movie again. And he said, okay.
Don't worry, they're not going to kill Blue.
I was like, I'm out. If they kill him, done. I will walk out of this theater. I cannot handle the pain. I cannot handle... He's like...
Can't handle it.
The only good thing about that movie... Or one good thing about it is Chris Pratt's in it. That's all I got to say about that. And then we talked about the movie that I watched through my fingers.
Oh, the other one?
That was such a scary... It's not...
Silence?
The Quiet Place. It's not scary, it's intense.
Very intense.
Like, it doesn't ever let up. But, same thing as Jurassic World... It's just swap out Chris Pratt for John Krasinski, who I'm telling you right now has grown up since The Office.
Yep.
Even you have to admit that.
Yep, absolutely.
He is a very, very good actor. We'll just say that. All right, let's put Dorothy. Should we give her big earrings or itty bitty tiny ones? Let's give her itty bitty tiny ones. No, that's a piece of brownie I think I was eating.
Brownie?
Well, maybe Dorothy doesn't want earrings. Oh, there it goes. Oh, did I move it out of...
You did.
We're
back.
Sorry, Sean. All right, guys, we are really in the end game here.
At the end stretch.
Sorry this is so long. All right, so we are going to build it now. So I just have a regular... Oh, you're on us now? But we're not supposed to be.
Just for a second while I
get
situated here.
Okay, so is it back on me? Can I start building?
We're downstairs. We're down below.
We're downstairs.
Yes, we're downstairs.
So I'm just basically using any kind of, this is my fun stampers. It was the one I had closest. And we're gonna, this is just out of, I go to Michael's and just buy their bonus buy cards for my base cards. And that's the reason why I do it 4-point, because those are what size they are.
Christopher Ramos, my pop-up on Nailed It. Lovely, wasn't it? Hated it.
Do you want to know how many people are contacting me about that? I'm not, even the people at Silhouette America contacted me on that. Because Sean obviously goes to the Silhouette Summit with us, so they know Sean, and they reached out to me and they said, so I was watching Nailed It, and I'm pretty sure I saw Sean on it, but it was so quick because the camera was only facing him for a little bit of time. I was like, oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that was me. Those funny girls.
All right, so we're just using any, you can use any. I like, so when I use foam squares, I like to use the same brand no matter what they are, if they were two different sizes, because you want to make sure the thickness of your foam squares are the same. So if I'm using little foam squares versus big foam squares, you want to make sure that those are the same size.
Katie Weirns. Ken, what glue tool is that? We're using...
Which glue tool?
I'm assuming Xyron is what you're talking about.
I bet you she's talking about that.
Or this. This is the...
That's the Fun Stampers Journey tape runner, which I love. once they fixed it. They had some issues where if you watch one of my other videos, the tape runner kind of breaks in it in a way. And they fixed that issue, and now I love it again.
Dino goes roar, hello.
So who's all going to the, I'm so excited. So I have so much events coming up, you guys. I have the Cricut Make-a-thon. I have, you know what I love about Cricut Design Space? When you're done, your card literally looks like what you see. Like, I think it does such a good job mimicking exactly what it turns out to look like. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you design a card and you're like, that doesn't look like anything like I thought it was. So I'm going to the Cricut Make-a-thon at the end of July, beginning of August. And then I will be at a crop in Florida in middle of August. Then I'm going with the Isbrix company. They're the ones that have the markers that you can color and then heat set it, and they're permanent. Yeah, and cool. They're going to be at the
Bethel, New York, and what is it
called? Can you zoom in a little bit? It's kind of hard for them to see. Yeah, they're going to be at the. Is that good? Okay. They're going to be at the event in Bethel, New York in the making, which is a great event, and I'm going to be demoing their product in booths. So if you're on the East Coast and can get tickets to that, come see me. And then in October, we will be on a cruise.
Yes, that's the only thing I get to go to.
Oh, I told you could go to any of them.
I know.
But
I don't have PTO.
I know, because you've used it all, because I make you go to all these horrible places, McCoy.
What part of Florida? Orlando.
Yes.
And you can go to Disney World while you're there.
I'm only there for 2 days, Sean. That'd be kind of hard.
You can run up and see Mel. Or Mel can run down and see you.
I'm literally there for the event and doing a chocolatier class, and then I'm leaving.
Nice.
So I'm busy these next few months, which is great. That's the whole reason I left my job, Sean. Huh.
Is this made by using the Cricut? Yes, it was. We did use the maker on this one, but it doesn't have to be the maker. It can be any of your machines. Even can use your Brother Scanning and
pretty much anything that's...
So it.
All right. There we go.
Look at that.
What do you guys think? Kind of fun, huh? Let me get up close so you can see the nice glitter there. Matches their earrings. Thank you for the idea on the earrings. I love it. Look at her little pearl earrings.
Yeah.
Here we can get a nice side view so you can see that. Those earrings just pop up. I am a huge fan of using popping things out. It's not much, but it just gives it that little
extra
oomph. Yeah. So you got Rose, Blanche, Dorothy, and Sophia. And of course, Dorothy and Sophia are the
mother.
I don't want to say they're grumpy. They're not grumpy. What are they, Sean? They're from, aren't they from, no, they're from, where are they from? Jersey, aren't they? Or are they originally? No, Chicago. Is it Chicago?
I don't remember.
I know she went to Shady Pines, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, guys, so there you go.
Ta-da!
So it's super fun card, very nostalgic for me. Thank you for saying those that did. I know this was a longer video. We're an hour and 20 minutes, and those tend to be our things, but I was going to do a super fast, and it just Ken from the car took longer and all that stuff. So
is it a Maymay's cruise? No, it's not Maymay's cruise. This is the cruise that we earned. So
like most design space companies, chocolatier has a incentive. So the top 15 people that hit certain requirements, actually top 30 get a cruise, and the top 15 people got it with airfare.
Yep.
So for 2 people. So Sean and I were second place. And so we get a cruise, the Western or Eastern?
We're doing a Western Caribbean. We're doing Cozumel, another Mexican place, and then one of the Cayman Islands.
Yes. So, and it's sometime in October.
Through,
so
Royal Caribbean, and we're going to be on the Adventures of the Seas.
Yes.
Newly remodeled.
Yes.
It used to be one of the biggest ship in the world until the Allure, the Symphony, and the Harmony came out.
So anyways, we'll be doing that in October, and then November and December, it's all back to basics.
Yep. And somebody asked, what are you demonstrating in New York?
Demonstrating in New York is, I don't know if I have a set down here.
No, they're all upstairs.
They're all upstairs because I'm testing them. At Creativation, there was this booth that we did. I think we did a video there, maybe not.
We did.
But basically, you just take what looks like Crayola markers. and you color it on a piece of copying paper. And then you turn it onto...
it has to be a...
polyester, right?
It's a polyester or a polyester blend.
And then you heat set it, and it literally heat sets into
the fabric. So it's like, what's the other word for when you do an iron-on, but the coloring?
It's like screen printing.
And the other word, sublimation.
Sublimation, yeah. So it's actually sublimation ink inside the markers and stuff.
It goes right in.
So when I was in their booth, we had fun. We played with the creator was there, and her mom was there, and we were just joking with her, and I was being my typical self. You know, I try to make people laugh. And
this is why he gets things.
So then they reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to come demo our products in New York at this place in the making? We would love it if you come. We would love it if any of your fans come to the show and come see you and do some videos with you and stuff. So I was like, sure, why not? So I'm going there with them, and I'm super excited, and I'm going to be showing their product. I just literally got a box from them that I'm going to be doing a video for and giving you guys the dates and all sorts of stuff. But if you look up in the making, it's I-N, but it's not making M-A-K, it's just M-K-N-G, I think, is how they spell it. So, yeah, and it's in Bethel, New York, which I don't know where is that.
Bethel is kind of a northwest of New York City.
Yes.
Don't know how far away, but maybe an hour, maybe 2 tops.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining. All the links are down below.
Yes.
Very exciting. Yes, thank you for reminding me, Rhonda. We did Chocateur. The reason I did get some people reach out saying, are you ever going to do stuff besides Chocateur? And I am. The problem is, it's not a problem, but I get very passionate about things. So Chocateur I love. Obviously, you can see all the boards behind me. And I have an amazing team. And we just hit 100,000 in sales in 17 days.
Yeah, you did.
It was so amazing. I have such a great team. So thank you for giving me a shout out on that. So we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be a Chocateur project. And we might even be on Friday. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for everyone who support me and on Patreon, who use the links down below and support us. You're the reason I get to do this full time. Eventually, once we get there, Sean will be able to be doing this with us full time as well.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so we'll get there.
Trying.
Dreams, right?
Dreams.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful evening. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, bye.